And now to our other top story. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is back at the royal residence on Sandringham estate this morning. Police released him from custody last night. Officers arrived at the estate in unmarked cars yesterday morning. As we reported, they arrested the former prince on suspicion of misconduct in public office after revelations were made from the Jeffrey Epstein files. Police held Andrew for around 11 hours. He is the most senior royal to be arrested since King Charles I nearly 400 years ago. Speaking yesterday, President Trump weighed in on these historic developments.
I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family. It's very, very sad. To me, it's a very sad thing.
BBC News correspondent Zoie O'Brien is following developments for us from Sandringham in England this morning. Zoie, good morning to you. The former prince is now effectively living in exile there, very isolated after yesterday's arrest. Give us just the latest information. What's new on this today as police continue their probe of him?
Hi, good morning to you. Well, in the last 30 minutes or so, we've heard from the Crown Prosecution Service. Now, that is the public agency here which is responsible for prosecution. And what they've said is that they haven't given police at this stage any formal advice on the advancement of their investigation. A lot of words there, but what that essentially means is that this is the very early stages of an investigation. And that's perhaps not surprising to us. What we saw yesterday, I mean, this has just been an astonishing 24 hours here. What we saw was the arrival of the unmarked police cars here at Sandringham yesterday. We then started to hear that that arrest had been made by the police force here, Thames Valley Police. They arrested Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, as you say, on suspicion of misconduct in a public office. Then what we started to see were the searches that were taking place here at Sandringham and at the former prince's former address at Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park. Those are scenes that we just do not expect to see, as you say, unprecedented in modern times. What they have been doing is going in and we believe looking for any evidence to help them with their investigation. Now, that would be laptops, phones, anything that can send a communication. They will need to take all of that away and they will need to go through it forensically, thoroughly, in order to help them with their investigation. Now, of course, these aren't small residences. These are huge homes that we're talking about, especially Royal Lodge, 30 or so bedrooms, I'm told, there. And that investigation, that search is still going on today. It's not taking place here at Sandringham, although we believe that the former Prince Andrew remains here today.
Remarkable. Zoie, we appreciate that real-time update. Thank you very much. We want to dig into the bigger issue, though, now. We've got Mark Stevens joining us. He's a UK-based lawyer at the Howard Kennedy law firm. And Mark, every reporter looking at this is calling it unprecedented. You have to go back hundreds of years before a royal was arrested, and that guy lost his head. So help our US viewers understand the kind of modern legal framework here. What does, now that the former prince has been released under investigation, mean, and what might investigators be interested in? As Zoie just pointed out, it might be more physical proof.
Well, we both have the same destination, justice, Errol, but very different routes to get there. In the US, an arrest is often closely tied to an accusation and charging. In England, arrest is primarily part of an investigative tool. It's not a conclusion. English police can arrest someone during an investigation in order to conduct a formal interview under oath, as happened yesterday, and also to exercise the search powers, which again happened yesterday and are continuing today. And what they're doing is seizing material that might be probative of an offence or exculpation. And that can happen long before any decision to charge is made. As we heard from your correspondent, the Crown Prosecution Service, the independent group who decide on charging or not, haven't yet been consulted. And that's perfectly normal at this period of time. So when Americans hear words like investigation or arrest in a UK context, they may well involve handcuffs, but don't read them as verdicts. They're steps in a deliberately cautious approach.
And he was arrested under this suspicion of misconduct in public office. This could be connected to what was in the DOJ's Epstein files, and that perhaps he gave Epstein unwarranted investment advice. How much evidence, or what specifically, will the police need to discover as evidence? And what happens if they find proof of any other crimes?
Well, let's deal with the other crimes. Any other crimes will be investigated separately. So let's say there were hypothetically something to do with sex crimes. They would be looked at, investigated separately, and of course covered. But misfeasance or misconduct in public office is a serious but really quite unusual allegation in English law. It requires proof that a public official, and obviously he was a trade envoy, knowingly misused their authority. Negligence or poor judgment just isn't enough. And essentially it refers to a situation where a public official, acting in the course of their duty, deliberately abuses their power, knowing that what they're doing is unlawful, or being reckless or indifferent that their actions will cause harm. So that's why misfeasance or misconduct in public office cases are rare and quite difficult to prove, but they're designed to catch deliberate misuse of state power or state information. They're not sort of controversial decisions made in good faith.
Yeah, I know this is all over the front pages there. Folks certainly curious what the police may discover next. Mark Stevens, we appreciate you joining us from London this morning, just past noon where you are. Mark, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Al.
Meanwhile, the family of Virginia Giuffre is speaking out following the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Giuffre alleged she was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein to engage in sex with the former prince. She accused him of assaulting her multiple times when she was 17. Mountbatten-Windsor denied those allegations and settled with Giuffre back in 2022. She died by suicide last year. Giuffre's brother and sister-in-law spoke with Major Garrett about the moment they found out Andrew had been arrested. Just listen here for a moment what they had to say on the takeout last night.
We had this just like boost of adrenaline that it almost felt surreal. It didn't feel like this moment would come at any point. And we got a call at 3 a.m. from Virginia's longtime friend and publicist, Deanie von Muffling, and you know, it hit me all at once there. And I went to Amanda and she's like, go back to sleep. And I go to Amanda and I'm like, Andrew's been arrested. And she just like flung out. And then, you know, following that boost of emotion or that boost of joy, really vindication for Virginia. I mean, I could tell you it's been kind of an up and down day. We've had a lot of a mix of emotions. I found myself crying in a restaurant earlier for really no other reason than just that we miss her. We wish she was here to see this. And this is a day for her survivor sisters. This is a day that they were wanting for a long time. And I think it gives a little bit of vindication to her and to her survivor sisters.
This is the beginning of the web. This is the thread that we need to continue to pull to uncover the further allegations. We hope the UK is persistent in that. And we know that if they really follow this trail, they will get there as well. And we're expecting the same acts to happen here in the United States. And it's been very shameful to not see that come from our own government.
Giuffre's sister-in-law also said she has, quote, zero confidence in Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate people implicated in the files. She told Major she believes it's important for the public to keep pressing lawmakers.